Guys, I have found the coolest boat possible. Oh my goodness, I want to see where the guys are that represent these boats. Guys, Targa. Wait. I want to do this before we do a walkthrough. That's a 32 footer. This is another 32. Let me see. Actually, this is a 35. Let me go see this thing. Oh, I gotta talk to the guys who run this. Look at this. We are talking about elegance. Oh man, hold on guys. Hold on. I gotta find the guys who work this. No, wait, we're gonna have to do this properly, guys. No. This has to be done properly. Let's go find the guys. Look at Burnwind. That is funny. Just did a video of those guys. Let's go find the people from Targa. Let's see if I find them. We're here. Oh my god. Dude. How do you guys choose to live in this weather, Matt?
Yeah, it's you gotta go to the sunshine or you gotta ski a lot. Get up in the mountains.
I mean, people actually choose. It's like this all the time.
I don't think many people actually choose to live here.
Dude,
hey, what's going on anyway, man? You're supposed to be here like 20 minutes ago.
I know. Dude, it's freezing.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna check the Flybridge out later. We'll check the front anchor system out a little bit, do some of those things, but I think on today we need to just quickly. The other thing I want to show you real quick, since we're running fast, aft station on this boat, custom, fully set up for the guys. So for fishing, you can go down these IPS units you can troll with. Okay. So he goes into slow mode, slow speed, what do they call it, low speed on Volvo, and they can then drop that boat speed down to 1.5 knots to troll for salmon. Full steering, bow thruster, docking station over here on the port side. So if you're coming in on the port side, this is sweet. It always feels good. You just can kind of stand here, see what you're doing, and drive the joystick. It's super good.
So, wait. Do that again. Again.
So you've got full custom.
Oh man.
You gotta get nighttime. This boat's badass because you got this under lighting here. Watch the drips.
Don't worry about that.
And that looks sweet at night. Super sweet. And then real quick, let me pop the hatch. I know it's wet.
Dude, I just got here and we're just like gunning it. This is too funny. I know, you know why? Because I gotta get inside, guys. I'm freezing. I'm from Miami. Yeah. This is
so. Okay. You got your IPS 600 package in here, twins. Just beautiful water maker on this boat, hot water tank. Pretty deep engine rooms, and that's where you get some of the sea keeping. It's a deep boat, and they carry that width real down all the way down low. So we keep a lot of the weight down low too.
What are we looking at as far as your fuel capacity on this guy?
Man, this is I think about 2,000 liters. Each of the boats we've kind of spec custom fuel tankage. So this has 2 tanks in the back connected, 1 up forward in the middle, and pretty good range. We're doing about 0.9 to 1.1 nautical miles per gallon, depending on how heavy the boat is. So if we're tanked down with full fuel and water, we're going to drop down into that 0.9 range. Light boat, we might see even 1.1, and that's at a 28 to 30 knot cruise. So it's a pretty nice, you're getting good fuel economy from 26 to 30 knots. We find guys get a little worse in the mid-range, 11, let's say 12 to 15 knots, but then you drop back to 8 or 9 and you're back down to like, you really extend the range, you're just going real slow. So.
Well look, we'll do the Flybridge last. Let's go inside.
Yeah, let's get back in there. Let's see what we got going.
Wow, this is nice.
So basically this is the biggest Targa, the Targa 46. They've been in production for, I think almost 3 years. I think 3 years ago the first one came out, and really good response. They built the 44 before that, and this is just kind of taking it to the next level with just a little extra room, and
this is
overall
really nice. Let me grab the camera real quick because I want them to see this. Let me grab this camera here, and then maybe we can start. What do you want to start? You want to start off at the helm?
Yeah, we can kind of go over that. Look at what the how Volvo sets that up with the displays, different options, and then you can just look around as you see fit and kind of take a look at the layout, etc.
So okay, so let's start from the helm.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the helm area, Matt. And tell me what the idea, because I was talking to Brian a little bit about it.
Yeah.
He was showing me the ride of the boat. One of the things that as I'm here, you have full visibility. Like,
Yeah.
the design of this boat, I mean, it's more for rough waters.
Yeah, I mean, what we found with this boat that's, I think, cool and what we enjoy and what a lot of our clients enjoy especially once they've used the boat, is the visibility is really good. It kind of lends itself to less fatigue when driving. You're not looking out over a long, bow. The boats ride level through pretty wide speed range. It's not a boat that we can only cruise at 25 to 30 knots comfortably, but you can drop that down into 12, 15 knots and still have good visibility and enjoy the ride. We've found that guys will run the boats at 8 or 9 knots sometimes when they're just getting everything put away, making sandwiches, making lunch, and still underway with autopilot on. And then you can run up at 12 or 15. Now you're eating your sandwich, hanging out. But most clients, once they really get the boats, they find 28 to 30 knots is a really nice cruise, and they love it. So.
This is nice, let me tell you. So I'm assuming this is someone's boat, right?
Yeah, so this is a client's boat. He's taken delivery actually this last fall. We're finishing some commissioning work, and then he'll pick it up for final delivery in the spring here.
So from this layout that the people are going to see now, Matt, how much does it deviate? Can people do stuff more custom if they wanted to, or I mean, I don't know how much different you would want from this, guys. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful, but maybe somebody wanted a darker floor or something
you've got
like that.
Real full range of colors, finishes. I mean, we've had customers who liked a fabric in the U.S. They shipped over to Finland, and we just the Targa, upholstered the boat out in that fabric. Something they couldn't get in Finland just due to the manufacturing. Different finishes on the teak wood. You can do a modern. I mean, pure just oil teak. You can do a little more varnished finish. You can do full varnished finish. They really focus on a custom-built boat for the client. So
the finish looks incredible.
Yeah. So we've really had a fun time just working with the different clients the way they want the boat to turn out. We work hard with Targa to get that going. So it's been something that we've enjoyed, through the whole process. It hasn't been something where we're just putting out a spec boat with 5% options. This is really more of a 25 to 30% as a custom build.
So tell me about this. You have a little footrest here, and you also, it looks like you have some shock mitigating seats here.
Yeah, so they still do the damped front driver's chair. These boats, we find you spend a lot of time at the helm actually standing, especially in really rough weather. Standing just gives you the ability to kind of move and kind of roll with the boat a little bit. So we find people do that. These helms tilt. So you've really got, once you do that, flip up the footrest, you've also got a real comfortable long-term, seating position. But the other thing we find is people move around a lot. We've been on autopilot running the boats, and you can make, eat your lunch kind of standing in the center of the boat. Mm-hmm. You're still totally in control of the boat, but you have the ability to move around, which also kind of helps limit fatigue. And then these helms, with a number of different positions, you've got a pretty nice all-around.
Matt, can you open that up? I want them to see a little closer while you do that, because that looks like it's something that it's going to give a lot of people comforts, especially when you can extend your legs. And I really like the fact that it has so much light in here. Is there something other than these shades to go ahead and maybe if you don't want to have any light access or you want to just close it or anything, is there any options on these or no?
Yeah, so all the front windows, we use these sun shades.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And these kind of operate as if you were getting a lot of glare from one side of the boat, you could drop these down. Obviously we're in the Northwest here, but summertime you get that glare coming in. And then as well, these you can't see in from the outside at night. So if you were staying on the boat, these act as a privacy shade as well.
And you got some seating area here as well, and some storage right under.
Yeah, so here we've got you got your ever-present wine storage, always key, and we've got our TV tucked away. A little automated zone there.
Let me get in there and see that real quick because I want them to see all that stuff. So that's good. A push of a button.
Yep. So you got your TV that pops up.
And you just put it away when you're done. You can still use that. I see that there's a lot of storage here also. All under these tables. This table, can you remove this table should you want to remove it?
Yeah, so you could pop this out. We had a real hardcore fisherman that he'd pop the table out on his 30 just so the guys could sit out around in their big rain gear and kind of feel a little more comfortable. But this table also pops down. There's a cushion that fits in so you can have a, sleep, a couple people in the salon here as well.
What about the galley here?
Yeah, so galley, this couple has opted for the 4-burner. This is actually a propane fired glass cooktop, kind of unique. I hadn't dealt with these before, but it seems to work real well.
That is very different.
We see oftentimes people go with just the 2-burner, which is just a preference. 2-burner, you could kind of go with a little bigger sink, which is cool. All custom countertop finishes. These clients opted for the dishwasher. Down below here, nice little gas oven, and then the refrigerator. And then we also have 2 more deck box refrigerator freezer combos outside, so you've got pretty good cold storage if you're doing longer trips, which is kind of fun.
So how many rooms does this particular boat have?
So this has your forward stateroom up front.
So this one has one?
So we have full 2 staterooms.
2
separate
in this
heads,
one.
separate showers.
Wow, okay.
And then 2 masters. So you really can fit 2 couples pretty nicely. The aft cabin actually has a little quarter berth, and the forward one has a little quarter berth as well. So if you have kids, or I would say people can kind of
look at this. So you just open this here, and it kind of like has its own door as well. So if you want to have complete privacy, you just shut it down and boom. Okay, great. So let's look at the stateroom.
All right.
Let's take a look at that.
The Targa 46. So interestingly, a lot of the smaller boats, Targa looks at the aft stateroom as their main stateroom. This boat, it's big enough. You kind of have flexibility in whether your preference will be, forward or aft as the main stateroom. This head on this boat was designed just a little bit smaller than the aft cabin, but they have a number of different options there. So,
Matt, is there storage under that bed?
I believe there is. I haven't actually checked on this boat. But yeah, we've got a little bit there.
So yeah, there's access points there as well. So
and then we've also got, I think on this, you've got a couple. Hard to
get in there.
See, but you've got some drawers that pop out here. Pretty good use of space, and then you've got your small quarter berth just kind of under the, just after there.
So this is a big bed in here. See what we got down here, and so you got a little bit of space in here. Yeah, if the kids wanted to be in here, they can be in here. You got.
Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, pretty nice storage all around, actually. It's funny, we have so many boats coming in, I don't always get a chance to just look at each one in particular, but.
So tell me a little bit about Matt. Tell me a little bit. So these are made in Finland, right?
Yeah.
So are they all constructed coming out of Finland?
Yeah. So they build the entire boat there. We do a little bit of systems and commissioning work once the boat gets into the Northwest. We're based out of Bellingham, Washington. But really we try to have Targa do most of the work. They've shown that they can do a good job on the entire spectrum of the boat, electronics. Obviously all the woodwork, trim, and it's just nice. When a customer gets their boat, they want to use it, and we would prefer not to have, 1 or 2 months of commissioning work. We like to keep that down to, a week or so. And, if you can get that boat delivered within a couple of weeks, everybody's happy.
So this is a full head in this stateroom, right? So and then you have another room. You said in the aft of the boat.
Yeah, so we can walk back there in a moment, but that is going to actually have a little bigger head in the aft cabin, and they've chosen to kind of set that up as their main helm, main stateroom.
I am so impressed with the work. The finish work is really nice. Let's just go back over there, guys, and let's take a look at the aft. Now we'll be going out on a bit. Obviously, the weather right now in Seattle, it's raining, it's cold, it's like 40 degrees. I'm actually enjoying the heat in here. Can you tell me about the cooling and the heating systems?
Yeah, so these really, on most of the smaller boats, we usually do a forced air hydronics or a forced air diesel furnace system. These we use the hydronic system, which is, you know, a diesel boiler heating coolant that's pumped through the boat. So we've got heated towel racks in both heads. Really nice, warm, comfortable boat year round. And this actually has an AC system too. So when I say AC, it just has a 120 electrical element. So when you do walk away from the boat for a month, maybe at a time, you can leave that on low. Draws fairly low amperage, but just circulates that coolant, keeps the boat warm as well for winterization. But man, the hydronic during the winter is just really nice. I mean, it's unbelievable.
So you probably, I mean, I can envision, you know, a guy up here, Alaska, that wants to be able to have something that they can be really comfortable in really rough weather and stay away from the elements. And the finish, my God, guys, look at this finish all throughout. I don't know if the camera is going to translate, but look at this. These are details. I mean, it's like it's almost like if you're in a really, really high-end home in here. You have all your radio. This helm is incredible. So on the beam of the boat, what are we talking about beam?
You know, these are under 14 feet overall beam. So they're really, for a 45, 46 foot boat, it's not the widest boat. You know, they are a deep boat in general. I'd have to double check the draft on this, in particular with the IPS units, what the total draft is. But they still seem to, that helps with their seakeeping a little bit. They use a deep V. They carry that V all the way out to the chines, and then the sides actually are pretty plumb. But it gives them a good planing surface, which helps with fuel economy. The deep V, really good. It carries all the way aft, so you really have a really nice riding boat. And we've even found, even with the little bit narrower beam, you go and drop this boat down to idle in a beam C, and they don't roll real badly. They seem to keep a fairly steady motion, and so all around seakeeping ability is really proven, you know, to be quite nice. We've been really happy with that.
I see that along the outside of the boat, there's a lot of space to walk there, right? So
yeah.
So you give up a little bit of space inside here, but I'm sure if you're fishing and you want to go from front to back, you're good.
Yeah, the once you get used to these outside walkways, the full walk around, it's really hard to kind of go back to a different style. But you do give up a little bit of cabin space. I mean, you can't deny, but each
I almost don't want to show that part because it's so cold outside.
Yeah, today is not the ideal day to look at.
But I'll tell you what, this is the perfect day for me to do this video, though, because I want to stay away from this cold as much as possible. Yeah. So let's take a look at that aft stateroom here. Let's see what we got here, guys. So let's go down below. Now, you're saying there that this has two masters. Oh, and you know what?
Well, the forward, you know, could almost be a master. This back aft head is just a little bit bigger because you've got a fully enclosed shower.
I'll tell you what. I would rather stay down here.
Yeah, and that's what, in this boat, that's really how it's set up to be.
So, I really like this here. This is really, really nice. I almost want to Airbnb this thing. This is very nice, guys. So there's storage in there, and also maybe stuff for clothing. I don't want to open anything because this is someone's particular boat.
Jumbled. I threw a sleeping bag.
And there's also another sleeping area down here.
Yeah. So in this boat, you can actually close that door, and this could be a little quarter berth for somebody. So.
Oh wow. So how many people comfortably are they rating like this boat format, more or less?
Well, reasonably, I feel like you could sleep, you know, 3 up front, 3 here in this aft cabin area, and then 2 more on the set or dinette here when it drops down. So, I feel like you've got a pretty comfortable. What's that?
I can't believe I'm on a 46-footer and I'm walking all this.
Yeah. So I mean, it's crazy because they have just squeezed a whole, you know, just a lot into a pretty reasonable size package. So.
Guys, this is insane.
And then this has the cool kind of enclosed shower, which is nice. Oh man, it's funny when you look at these boats with clients because it's just everybody looks at the boat, thinks this is a little, well, it's a 46, but it's not the biggest 46. And then we start walking through it with them, and they're like blown away by just the,
I mean, what else would you need? And you know what I like about it? I'll tell you, it has a very intimate feel in here. Like, you know, like when you sit down, we were sitting down and we had a couple of conversations before we got this video started. And there's certain boats that you kind of feel that intimacy when you're in there. I kind of like that. And like I said, I'm really digging the fact that you have so much visibility in here.
Yeah.
I'm assuming when you're crashing on those waves and you're, you know, enjoying yourself with your family, it's cool.
Yeah, it's a comfortable boat, you know, and they handle the weather so nicely. That's one of the biggest things we love, is just the drivability of the boat. But day to day, the more we've used these, some of the things that you feel are a little small, they just seem to work well. Targa's done a good job of fine-tuning a lot of the ergonomics and the little spaces. They've built these boats for such a long time that we feel like they've just gradually refined and continue to refine the dimensions and the way the boat's put together. So it really, at this point, is a product that seems to work well.
So what's powering this boat, Matt?
So these are all Volvo Penta powered. You could spec a different engine, I guess, if you wanted, but this Volvo Penta IPS product in the 46 is just a beautiful...
Twin or single?
Twins, yeah. Twins. All the IPS are twins. You've got joystick driving. You can see up at the helm. Now I got to go out in the cold here. It's kind of
don't open the door.
Basically, if you were maneuvering this boat, you've got joystick driving, so you can sit here, you can look right out at your dock, whatever, you know, obstacles are out there. Really pretty sweet. You're not fighting like, hey, I'm docking and I've got to run out the back door to grab my lines.
Yeah.
You know, this will control the boat sideways, diagonal, back and forth. If you want to get your fenders out, a couple hundred yards off outside the marina, you can just hit the DPS function here, dynamic positioning system. Holds the boat on a GPS point.
Okay.
You can then, you know, with safety, walk around the boat, get your lines and fenders ready, come back in, take the DPS off, and then navigate the boat in with the joystick. Really easy to dock. Targa keeps a bow thruster in play, which I love because there's a lot of times where you get that stern line on and you just want to keep the bow, you know, just bumped right up against the dock without a bunch of extra motion. So it's really been a nice, you know, feature as well.
Does this boat have a Seakeeper option?
Yeah, on the 44 and 46 you could do the Seakeeper. They've come out with a couple of the smaller units the last few years, and I think they have. We haven't installed any yet on boats brought into the U.S. market, but they have put some of those on European products. So yeah.
Maybe we can talk. Is it still sprinkling a little bit over there? Maybe we can do a quick walkthrough.
It's raining quite.
You know what? I'm gonna brave it. Let's go out there real quick and just talk about the bow real quick.
All right.
Guys, just so you guys can see what's going on here.
Let me close this down. Oh boy, here we go, man.
All right.
This is not the funnest.
I know, but look, sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
Right, I guess.
Holy crap, nuts.
Alright. So make this as quick as possible.
So, you know, it's cool. This guy went with the double anchors, which you don't necessarily need, but it's sweet. If you've got to bring them up or down, you can get right out on the front, wash them off. Controls are right down here, pretty easy, and you've got a quick connect for fresh and salt water wash down. Anchor chain and rode is all stuffed in here. Boom. We've got this divided so it keeps the chain nicely.
Big locker, big spare, a lot of space.
This client has a nice cushion zone that goes out here. Solar panels.
So they have
lights.
solar panel. Wow.
Got your long range drivers. You got your big light bar for coming in the marina. LED spotlight. Targa keeps all their spotlights usually manually operated, which I like. It's kind of simple, but just cool.
All right, so let's go back.
This boat, you can see we just went with Volvo Penta's 7-inch displays, which I really like. You can go through and get all kinds of data here. This will actually function as a you got your fuel burn rates. You can run and kind of set this up however you'd like, which is one of the cool things with Volvo and Garmin. They really have worked together to produce a real a system that works well together.
What's the top speed, the cruising speed, and fuel efficiency? Like, what are we looking at? Gallon wise, what do we got?
This boat at a 28 to 30 knot cruise is going to burn to get about 0.9 to 1.1 nautical miles per gallon.
Okay.
So really, I was just saying, hey, it's about a mile per gallon on this boat at 30 knots. The boat will cruise comfortably up to probably 32 knots, and then really push up to, I think, about a 35 knot top speed. We find most people like to run these at 24 to 30 knots. Below that, you start to lose a little bit of fuel efficiency until you get down to whole speed at 8 or 9 knots, and then you really increase your range. You're just going quite slow.
Matt, you guys got some rough water in this area. Have you been in rough stuff already in one of these guys?
This boat, I've run the little 27. We've run all these through 30 to 40 knot winds. Gale Force Winds. I mean, it's really been an incredible process, kind of hearing and seeing some of the stuff they showed in Europe. And the reputation they developed in Europe, since the 70s when they first kind of went into production in the late 70s with their 25, and they've kind of grown this whole range of boats out of that from that first 25 model. But we've seen it's true. I mean, the boat is an amazing boat in rough weather. I wouldn't recommend people go out in a lot of these conditions, but we've got to move boats to boat shows.
Yeah, but sometimes you get stuck in it.
And we've really found that that's the bigger thing. If you're out and you need to be home, or you're in part way coming home, I mean, that's where the weather kicks up. And in these boats, we've seen the feedback from customers has been really, really good in that respect. We've had multiple owners, and I'd actually say with the 32, for instance,
which I want to walk as well.
Yeah, you'll have to go through that, because it's almost like this boat just shrunk down, of course, into a smaller package. But it really has been people have basically just said it's changed their paradigm of what boating can be.
Okay.
The high speed is great, but then they really have just, I think, understood, like, hey, the weather kicks up and I'm not stressing. I'm not watching.
You're not worried.
I want to be smart and watch the weather, but I'm not quite as stressed by that. And that I like, because it means, hey, you can be out, and we don't choose to be in bad weather, but the sea is just not something that just adjusts its personality to what we want it to be. And I think that's where these boats really shine, is it's just a boat that is built to be used in the ocean and the open water, where we can get out and boat and feel that we're in a boat that's designed for those conditions.
What are we looking at? Because, I mean, I don't want this to be an hour video, but, I mean, we can spend 3 days on this boat if I wanted to get into all the nooks and crannies. Okay, what are we looking at price point, like for a reasonably packaged, a boat like this? What are we looking at, more or less? I mean, we're in 2020, Seattle show, all this can change, but right now, at this moment, what are we looking at? Price point.
A really nicely equipped 46, I like to say it's $1.2 million boat. If you really push the parameters with water maker, generator would be included. I would say, though, there's always ways to push the price up, but most of these really well equipped, ready to go boating. Very similar to this boat, which has a water maker, generator, 3 stations. You've got a Flybridge station, aft station, and then this your main helm. We're looking at just over the $1.2 million mark. So you're under 1.3, but probably right at 1.2 or just a tad over that.
Okay, so now where can they go? I mean,
that's shipped, delivered, and commissioned, ready to drive away from the dock in Bellingham, Seattle, basically, but Bellingham, Washington, where our shop is located.
So where can they go online, or how do they reach you, Matt? I mean, I'm gonna blow up your email right now.
Call me direct at 360-3.
No, don't do that, man.
Don't call me direct, man. So you can check out the boats at Targa.fi. That's the builder's website. CardinalYachtSales.com is our website. Real good, I think, background and information on the boats on both of those sites. And then you can reach us at CardinalYachtSales.com. There's an email link there, phone numbers, and we can, a lot of these boats are custom built, so we find that once the person kind of connects with the boat, then we're working through a process to kind of develop.
Let's talk about that process real quick. So how long of a process are we looking at?
Well, these boats are about a year out. Targa is selling they build about 120 boats a year, and they're selling out
120 boats
through the
year. Wow.
So almost all their boats, except for the smaller 23, 25, and 27, which we could deliver sooner, are really, you're pushing about 12 months plus to get a boat.
Are any of the boats here at the show not sold?
We've got a sweet used 32. We've got a demo 27.2, which is a cool little boat. One of my favorite, just all around boats.
Brian was showing me a video of that blue boat just killing it through like 5-footers.
Oh, that boat will run. I've taken that out in crazy weather, and you slow down a little, but it's not a boat you hate life in,
All right.
I really enjoy that.
Well, let's go walk those. Guys, if you guys want to see those, click on the end link that I put here. We're going to continue this on another video, Matt, because, I mean,
Oh yeah,
we're right now on the flagship. Actually, before we go on the other one, let's go ahead and brave the Flybridge real quick, because I want them to see that. I know it's freezing and it's wet.
Yeah.
Let's go look at that real quick. All right, guys. This is the last thing. This is what I've been avoiding all day. But you know what? It's gonna... Oh, I got to open this.
We got to be able to lock that in a couple spots for rough weather stuff.
All right. So,
All right, hit it, man. Of course, we got canvas on that right now.
you have a canvas on there now?
Yeah, and it's hard to pain to take off, but you can kind of get a good feel. There's a good vantage point up here. Visibility's sweet. We've run these up here, man. It's quiet. Only problem we have, you go into a turn in these things, they kind of bank over and you feel like you're just looking down at the water. But
All right, guys,
definitely a fun
go online if you want to see this. Get out of here. Get out of here. You can't have a guy from Miami in this type of wet weather. Hey.
Hey, man. Seattle, the Seattle.
Tell them, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
All right, guys, let's go. We're going to go see the other one over here with Matt.
Oh, yeah.